Hey, what's up guys? Max here, and today we're on day 3, part 2 of the Serpent chat. Man, it's still going on, guys. We have, if you see, this is the forums right here. When it comes to like a specific room regarding what happened when it comes to the Serpent. Now, I'm going to give you another perspective here right now in this small video. So we're at 9 chapters, 9 pages of people discussing about the Serpent and everything that keeps coming out, you know. So they're discussing a little bit more too of content creators, like content creators putting out their ideas regarding the Serpent. You know, majority I would say are still on the side of the fence that he needs a slight tune down. Okay. And here's a very honest, debatable topic. Okay. Let's talk about it right away. This is the point of the video. Bullseye, being a top defender that he is, got a slight nerf, you know, and whether it's a change to what the champion is from the beginning at how it was designed, whether it's to improve its attack or take away from his defense, we call that a buff or a nerf. It's a nerf, right? So Bullseye got one. Just a slight little one, still making him a very top defender that I'm actually considering to rank 3 because he's so good on defense, and I'm trying to improve my defense. But overall, we have more options. We are able to take on the Bullseye with other champions. I was excited for this nerf because it didn't shut down Bullseye as a top defender. It didn't shut him down, and I'm still considering to get this guy to rank 3. I have him, just got him recently as a 7-star. He's still not awakened, but I'm in that consideration to get him to rank 3. And that's kind of what the community, I think, you know, even though I see the community very split, there's people advocating that he needs to be nerfed extremely to the ground, you know, and I think that's a very few amount of people. And then there's I think majority of the people were expecting a change, a little bit of a nerf to the Serpent, and in the works of a nerf, nothing to the point to where he's no longer the Serpent, the top defender, right? He actually is just a great defender, amazing defender, but with more options currently in game. People have discussed how there's over 220 something champions. I forget the exact number, but we only have like 3 to 2 counters in the game right now, you know, and that's because of the options we have. Now, Bullseye, again, doing a comparison to Bullseye has now multiple counters. Most of us, I was so excited to take Bullseye with Starkey. I was like, been wanting to do that fight, I was like, now with the slight changes that they did, I can do that fight. And I've done that fight and it comes out amazing. I'm so happy with that. So he's got more options. He's still an annoying defender, but he's got more options. I think that's what we expected from the rebalancing team when it comes to the efforts to the Serpent. And I think that's where the majority of the players are just discussing and maybe don't understand and just kind of like are like, what's going on? Like if both of these guys are top defenders and both of them, whether the community, I think majority of the community is like, dude, these guys are too strong at the moment for what we have and options that we have available to take them down, specifically in battlegrounds. Alliance War, it's a little different, but still very difficult because it's a competitive game mode. But in Alliance War, you can do synergies, you can do pre-fights, you have boosts, so you have more options to figure out how to remove a Serpent or a Bullseye from the defensive place, and you only obviously fight one, just like in Battlegrounds you only fight one, but in Battlegrounds the situation is different. You only bring one champion if RNG provides that from the selection of your 30, if it's not banned, to have that champion as an option to take down the Bullseye, the Serpent. So that is kind of like my situation, I don't understand about the balancing team on the decision on that one, And here's where I guess frustration and confusion and kind of like attacks because of that frustration. People can't hold back, come out, you know, and unfortunately, you know, I think in those forums, these 9 pages of like discussions probably would be close to 12 pages, but Kabam kept removing posts. I think I read one of the posts that like somebody was saying, "Hey, like I think this post people are feeling like I'm because mainly the designer they're kind of like bashing at the designer, so DLL. So people were like, hey, I think Kabam felt like I was accusing or attacking DLL, and so they removed my comment, but I was referring to DLL, and like they reposted their comment, I guess, in different words. I don't know if that comment was removed, but I was skimming through this last night, and I read that, and I was like, okay, I don't know. How safe of a place we know that and the forums are to voice out your opinion, to just voice out your frustration, just voice out what you need to voice out. It's not. I don't think it's a really good place to do. But hey, if you still want to put it out there before it gets deleted, maybe get some eyes on the attention. I would still just say do it. Even though I don't. I don't even sign into the forums because situations like that. But I still encourage, if you need to get something off your chest, I think properly, you should put it in the forums. It gets, maybe someone's not even thinking of how you're feeling, and it gets that information out there. So one thing also I want to discuss about, I talked about it in the forum. I actually talked about it in the live stream, how like our community, us as a player, we actually have a very, very strong voice. Whether we all come together or in your own world, you don't even have to make a thing about this, right? But in your own world, like in my situation at the moment, I'm not as happy with how Kabam is handling offers and them saying, hey, Max, give us $100 and we're going to give you this and that. And it does, the payout wasn't as great as I was expecting on that double crystal. So I felt like I kind of got cheated, when it comes to that $100 that I gave Kabam. And in a way, they're kind of my expectations of what I guess I translated when they said, hey, this is going to be the best crystal ever. So I'm a little bummed on that. So because of that, I'm not saying like this needs to be organized, but you choose whether you want to give the company, buy products from the company, invest in the company, stuff like that. So at the moment, I'm actually not doing that. I'm not buying early access bundles. I'm not buying deals, whether they're good deals. And I still kind of refer to them as like, hey, you might want to consider this. That's different as opposed to what I'm doing for me. And that's kind of what happens. And if majority of the people like us as a players, we have that voice, that strength in our numbers, that if we do get something organized, we might be able to sway Kabam to do other things. Maybe. Because they do need us. They do need the players to be happy and investing and buying stuff, because money is what drives this company. I said it before. On a financial point of view, the game is always it's a business. So always look at this sometimes with the eyes of a business, not so much of like entertainment. And hey, this is just there for me to be entertained, and it's always going to be there. If there's people not paying stuff or buying stuff or paying into Kabam MCOC, this thing fizzles out within, it won't even hold a year. We've seen it in other games, maybe a year and a half tops, if people are just not bought into the game, So along with that, it is fair to say we do always need top defenders. That's a given. I'm not saying, and I'm back on that. But when it comes to the Serpent, when it comes to Bullseye, we need top defenders, just not that rough at the moment. We need more counters. We need more options to be able to do it. AI is a thing, meaning like how it composes, how it reacts. So if it doesn't do so well, what do? We need still tough defenders, but we still have a mix of AI. And then we have a mix of nodes. And then we have a mix of RNG draft. There's still so many things at play to make the fight and that defender difficult. We don't need that defender to be just extremely difficult on his own. But with that being said, if you go to this link, I'm going to post it in the comments, first post comment at the top. It doesn't mean that this is going to do something, by the way, guys. This is not guaranteeing as well that something's going to get done. But there's a petition. This was started by Lag Legacy. You can read everything in his entirety right here in his comments, and you can even go, and these are not going to get deleted, by the way, so whether people comment whatever they want, those comments are going to be found here. You can go in and sign it. I myself signed this. At the moment, 758 signatures. I think if we refresh it, okay, 900 signatures. Okay, that I had brought this page up last night. The goal is to get to, like, I think Legacy mentions in there, like, roughly about 10,000 signatures. I don't know if that was if I read that or if that was my own goal. Let me see. I don't know if I see a number of 10,000. Okay, I don't see a number, but okay, guys, if you go in there, again, not knowing, you don't even have to do money. All you got to do is just sign it. It does ask for money. I would recommend don't put money into it. All we need is signatures. I'm not behind this, meaning heading this, but I talked about it in the live stream saying, hey, if someone does it, this would be great. And guess what? I think one of the higher top content creators at the moment with more following and a big voice created this. And I think that should not be something that Kabam definitely brushes away just like that. It should be something that it gets recognized, because we have communities that are signing this. So, I mean, players that are signing this inside the community. So, again, I know there's, again, the side that they're like, hey, don't touch the Serpent. And I've said it this before. I understand that. Like, the Serpent still needs to be a good defender, just not where he sits at the moment. People have invested thousands and thousands of dollars. I understand that. If you take away too much on the NERF, on the Serpent, you lose the trust of the players that have invested so much money. But they did a great job on Bullseye. And that's what we need, I think, on a perspective level on the Serpent. Same thing, same treatment, still keeping him very annoying, still having that option as being a good defender, but just not the way he's working at the moment. And then finally, guys, like I've said, I've watched many videos of different content creators. I've pieced together other conversations and chats and stuff like that. Without me saying too much here, you know, I don't know. We'll see what happens of like this whole thing. What I don't like, ultimately, there's something that I don't like, and that's kind of like, without, you know, again, breaking too many like NDAs and stuff like that. Kabam hasn't talked. They're quiet at the moment, and to be fair, they should be, because everybody's really strong, and it's hard to have a conversation with someone that's so passionate and angry at the same time. So they're letting the community to cool off, which is fair. It's good, you know. But I am, without, again, because Kabam is not talking at the moment, I'm kind of piecing my own conclusions and stuff like that, and with more information than maybe what the community sees. I don't like something that I'm piecing together, you know, and I hope this is not true when it comes to what I'm seeing, you know. And so I kind of saw this already prior to this Serpent situation, and I've seen it come about very in different places, in different forms, and I'm seeing it again. So I don't like that part, you know, and that's kind of dangerous, because it sways the direction very strongly on where the game goes, you know. So that's all. I can't really say much, but like, I don't like that. That's one thing I'm very skeptical about. It's not that the game is going to die, or the game it's a bad thing. No, it's just, it's just very concerning, basically. But yeah, guys, for now, take care, man. Let me know what your thoughts on. Let me know if you're on the side of the fence that he does need a little bit of a tweak down. You know, not a huge nerf, again, because investments were made. Go sign the petition. Again, doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It just means it lets Kabam know, because Legacy does have a channel, a direct contact with the developers, with the people probably in charge of the balancing team. And when it comes to this. And then lastly, okay, last thing right here, we finish it. It is fair to say, what's up with the balancing team? I've seen that discussion being said, that topic being brought up, whether it's in form or it's in form of videos. What's up with them? You know, and when it comes to, if I think with the mindset of like, hey, the balancing team, when it comes to a company that's making money, it's there for a specific purpose. It is there. It is showing its face that it's there to make sure that it does not create top attackers. You know, there is not that they're just punishing the top attackers but not punishing the defenders. We can't say that because Bullseye was a slightly nerfed defender. They did that. Now, when it comes to the Serpent, being the defender higher level, more annoying and less counters than Bullseye, hasn't been touched. Why? You know, and that's where, again, I said the comment before, I'm a little kind of, I don't see how or, you know, what's going on here. But what's up with the balancing team? Well, why make a call on one top defender when one of them's worse, but yet you don't touch him, you know? And what's up with the buffs on the attacks, on attackers? You know, we like almost everything. Even if we just look, I read a comment saying, "Hey, it looks like the balancing team is really not even there. It's just somebody comes in and says, hey, runs it across other people and says, yeah, I think we're good, right? It seems like everything's fine, right? And there's nothing broken on this champion. All right, make a post." And like we saw that the balancing team with when it comes to the shakedown or the changes of like. Actually, let me bring this up here, man, guys. I went all the way back to look at this. The crew that was, back
on their rosters. He said, on top of lots of very relevant immunities and resistances, he gains a pierce effect relatively quickly.
You know, Jax, we had Kabam Mike. So this crew, when I went back to look at the description of the Serpent to see what Kabam felt in the description of how he was going to perform. And yeah, they make reference to him being a defender. When this crew left, Kabam, Marvel Contest of Champions, there was like, were they the balancing team? Because there was no information about the balancing team, and like it was kind of like left, and then they were like doing catch up recently on like the balancing team. They were saying, hey, we haven't looked into or we haven't seen anything. There was a post in the forum saying, hey, sorry about that, communication, but we're going to be on track going forward, and so. Yeah, man. What's going on over there? Is it one person show? Is it a 2-person show? And I don't know. We'll see. But we'll see what plays out. We still have hopes too for right here for the 2 other champions that are going to be looked into when it comes to the Prowler and Spider-Punk. Man, and we'll see. My hopes on Spider-Punk buff. It's not there, but am I dying, quitting the game and raging because of that? No, it is what it is. I just won't rank him up to rank 3. I rank him up to rank 2 just to have fun with him. But if he doesn't get buffed, where I feel he's a good option for Battlegrounds and have him worth my rank up materials and have him in my deck for offensive and have an edge over my opponent that maybe does not have him ranked up or doesn't care to, or doesn't have the champion, then yeah, maybe we do. But we'll see, guys. Man, this thing is evolving and I've gone way too long now. Take care, guys. Oh, man. Catch you guys on the next one. Peace.